Finally, you have a green screen behind you.
You like the green screen?
Yeah. That's what I was saying in the beginning. Is you need to have a green screen. Forget about that drape.
I have less than a minute. Well, yeah. Happy Sunday, everybody. Today is July 6th, 2025, July 4th weekend. I hope everyone's had a safe weekend. You're catching up on your barbecues. And let's start off with the upcoming weather in the New York City area. Right, let's see if we can get the local weather for New York City. Okay. It is going to be 84 degrees today. So it's going to be a little bit cooler than it's been the past couple of weeks. And I do apologize for my internet. It's a little bit choppy, but hopefully it'll get better. Expect rain. We're expecting rain on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and possibly next Sunday. So if you're traveling in the New York City area, just be aware it's going to be a wet week. So let's go to our news for the week. First things first, we're going to take a look here. 3 days ago, unfortunately, Texas was hit with a flash flood. The weather was unexpected. Currently, right now, they have 59 people confirmed dead. Out of that 59, last count I checked was 12 children. The area that was hit is in the Kerrville County, it looks like. And the Guadalupe River is what basically rose up alarmingly early. There are a lot of videos on X that shows that the water rose rapidly fast within 8 minutes. It was timed to show that. This is the area greatly affected right here, Kerrville County. Unfortunately, there was a summer camp going on for the children in that area, and there are several children missing. There are several people missing. The area has been evacuated, and right now, all we can do is have prayers for those affected. In other news going on around the world, and when I say around the world, outside of New York City, last week, unfortunately, and to the let me see if I can bring this up for the firefighters in Idaho, I believe. And we'll get back to the news. Let me see what's the title on that one. In Idaho, I was correct. In Idaho, last weekend, firefighters were ambushed in the mountains in Idaho. The perpetrator in that case was arrested. Well, no, I'm sorry, was found dead. He was not arrested. He was found dead. It appears it was a self-inflicted wound. And there's further investigation on his motive and why he did it. But unfortunately, two firefighters were unalived during this incident, and one is fighting for his life. There we go. His one of the gone firefighters' grandfather spoke, and this happened in Cordellian, Idaho. I do apologize for mispronouncing it. And the gunman was found dead in the Canfield Mountains. And this manhunt for him took a little over 24 hours. Firefighters were given the proper respects from the moment their bodies were retrieved from the mountain under gunfire. And prayers and our condolences to the family. Everything in other news, we have on Tuesday of this past week, what is known as alligator Alcatraz, what has been deemed alligator Alcatraz in the Florida Everglades, have been opened and have been inspected by President Trump himself as a further establishment to hold illegal immigrants and detainees for process and return to their original country. Now, this has caused a great uproar by some people, and the local Democrats have attempted as of Friday to inspect this area, and they were denied entry. More on that possibly later on this week. And I believe that is it for the world news outside of New York City. Now, within New York City, we have some local news. First up, let's visit the wonderful county of Westchester, which is right above New York City. First up in Westchester, there is a hike that is expected. Hold on. Am I sharing? I'm sorry. I thought I brought it up. Con Edison is looking for a price hike. Now, the local politicians within this area, there we go, have scheduled, according to Talk of the Sound, have set up for a public hearing, a public forum scheduled in Westchester County, July 8th, which is 2 days from now, and July 9th. The first one will happen in Cortland Town Hall in the Vincent F. Nienberg on 1 Headley Street, Cortland Manor, scheduled at Westchester County Center, first floor meeting room, 198 Central Avenue, White Plains, New York. This hearing is to discuss the proposed gas and electric rate hikes in that area. If you have a concern, I highly suggest that you attend these meetings and voice your opinion. Okay, we still have news for Westchester County. In Westchester County as well, we have, let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. There is one other thing that I do have to touch that on the that's outside of New York for the. There we go. This 4th of July weekend, President Trump did host the July fireworks, which is, I do apologize, the article I have here right now is Trump did speak out and give a nice thank you to not only the firefighters, the airmen that conducted the strike in Iran. He also gave a shout out to the ICE agents who have gone through a lot. And with the passing of the One Big Beautiful Bill, which I will provide you a link here, that just passed last week as well, which actually provides them a budget that will help them hire more ICE agents and to push through in their endeavors. Now, for the big beautiful bill, there is a lot of confusion. So if you want to check any details within the big beautiful bill, you can go to whitehouse.gov/OBBB and check out what the big beautiful bill entails. If you are a senior, it actually means no tax on your Social Security. If you work in a field where you get tips, your tips are no longer taxed, given a certain limit. It is also going for permanently securing our borders, increase for children, for child payments, increase in child tax credit, excuse me. So, and much more. So if you want to know more details, go ahead and go to the whitehouse.gov and you will get more information on this. It's in detail as you go through. Like I mentioned earlier, President Trump did host a 4th of July celebration with a flyover with the pilots and the aircrafts that actually conducted strike on Iran. Unfortunately, this weekend did not go without its mass shootings throughout the U.S. There were several mass shootings on July 4th that did unfortunately unalive several people and wounded several people throughout the country. New York City was hit, where one person was dead and 3 was injured in a stabbing. Also, you had Massachusetts, Georgia, just to name a few. We just can't have nice things. Okay, let me just make sure all the world news is done, and then we're going to hit upon local news after this. I believe I have one more announcement for Westchester, and I believe it's because you guys received a new judge that may not have been there. So let's go to the Bronx. I do apologize. In the Bronx, we have, well, why my sharing is not working right now. Yeah, in the Bronx, first, I'd like to bring your attention to, and as of yesterday, we have a missing 12-year-old girl who never returned home 4 days ago. If you have seen Janice Cordy, please contact your local police department. Right now, we have no updates. This actually is a tragic story because she was also abducted as an infant as well. So let's pray for her safe return to her mother, who is worried. Also going on in the Bronx, we have some good news. Like this one, your community is working towards bettering itself with a playground makeover, which was unveiled on July 2nd. The reopening of Strong Street Playground in Kingsbridge Heights has been reopened and has been renovated for a total sum of $3.4 million. So now you have a safe, secure place for children to participate and play. Let's go over to Brooklyn. Brooklyn's been very busy lately. And unfortunately, not in a great way. Here, also in Bronxville, on July 4th, there was a deadly hit and run that occurred on July 4th. Unfortunately, a 36-year-old man who was walking on the road was hit and was pronounced dead at Brookdale University Hospital. The driver did not stop, and right now it is an open investigation. We do have some more for Brooklyn. New York City, we've been very, very busy. Also, we had city workers had the pleasure of going and enjoying sites for the 4th of July at the Brooklyn Promenade, but unfortunately, the residents were not able to enjoy the sights, according to the Brooklyn Daily Eagle. Over to Manhattan, with some unfortunate news. On July 4th, a 15-year-old boy was unalived after falling off the number 7 train by what is known as subway surfing. which is unfortunately a habit amongst children, teenagers. He was pronounced dead on site, and as of Friday, the NYPD is investigating this. He was struck by a J strain on Crescent Street. I'm sorry, that was someone else. Was struck by a J strain on Crescent Street in Brooklyn at 3:30. Who he himself is in stable condition. And we're going to go over to Staten Island, which there is somebody in Staten Island who is very lucky. So if you are from Staten Island and you play lotto, I would suggest you check out your lottery ticket, because we have a winner for the Take Five. As of the writing of this article on, as of yesterday, July 5th, no one has claimed it. They have if you bought a ticket at 535 Vanderbilt Avenue in Park Hill, I suggest you double check your Take Five, because you are a lucky winner. There are also two more winners in Queens who I believe already claimed their prize. But if you are in Queens and you have not checked your tickets and you purchase it at Linden Boulevard Service Station located at 113-21 Merrick Boulevard in Jamaica, double check. It is your lucky day. Happy 4th of July to you. Ask you to be a little bit patient. I'm still getting used to the software. And lastly, for Queens, as of last weekend, there has been a new bus route in Queens that's been in effect for commuters as part of the MTA network redesign project. So if you are someone who used public transportation, you could go to the Queens Bus Network Redesign Project to see if your bus line has been affected and has been improved. And lastly, it is the summer. And unfortunately, we have an abundance of mosquitoes. So we have a link here, which I am going to put in the chat once I bring it up. Of the spraying schedule for the West Nile due to mosquitoes in New York City. There we go. The Department of Health is spraying in each borough. It seems like the aerial spraying has occurred from July 1st to July 3rd. They probably will have additional spraying according to pics.com. I'm putting the link in the chat. So if you want to check if your zip code has been affected, you will be able to take a look at it. Oh, there we go. This is new software, so please be patient with me. Oh, the chat is not working. There we go. Okay, in the chat, we have the link so you could check the article out, that particular article out, and see if your zip code has been affected. And as for the news, that is it for the local news. So let's go ahead and recap about last week's topic, which is the I don't care attitude. Well, the I don't care if it's not affecting me immediately. Did you take on this attitude? How do you feel? And like I said, when I go ahead and we go on this journey, we go on this journey together. And I found it very beneficial. I'm not easily hurt. What tactics have you taken? If you've taken the I don't care, it's your opinion, that's a reflection of you, I need to do what I need to do attitude. So if you come across this today, tomorrow, in a month or so, leave a comment. Let me know how did that attitude work for you. For me, I found it very beneficial because I ended up being more productive. But I just realized why I'm moving so slowly. And possibly I will be moving a little bit faster without so many things running in the background. While we're doing this, we are going to go into our main topic for today. It would not be Independence Day weekend if we did not speak about independence itself and what it means to us. Um, Being in this country where you can do as much as we do. And I'd like to start with the definition of independence because we tend to take it for granted. Seriously, we do. The benefit that we have here in this country. One moment, and let me see if it comes up. Okay. Independence refers to the state of being free from control, influence, or support of others. In this day and age, this is a very profound definition of what independence means. 249 years ago, the forefathers of this country took their freedom away from what they called England at the time, what we call Great Britain or the United Kingdom. They removed their influence, their control, and support. They became independent of this country. And this 4th of July is very profound because we are working towards an independence from other influences throughout the world. We were one of the few countries in the beginning at that time that took our freedom back. We took our way of living back. We fought back from being taxed unnecessarily from England. Um, you could call them, many people say that's when the first army was created. I more say that they were more militias, and they basically kicked the UK out of the land that they came to settle, to run from what they were running from. This Independence Day is very profound, and I'm going to share a video at the end of this, and I'm going to end it with it from PDB, which basically sums up the creation of this country and the growth within this country. Many has sacrificed against tyranny in this country for the last 249 years. Sacrifices have been made, growth has been made, and we have been, up until the last maybe 30 years, we have been in the forefront of technology, of growth, and the success of not only this country, but also the world. And this is something to remember and to keep in mind. And keep in mind as you go throughout this next 3.5 years, because in about 3.5 years we'll have another election. Keep in mind how, as though many people through the protests, you can see even those who protest on the 4th of July, keep in mind that this country is great. And it's so great that we have people who are trying to get here in droves. We have people willing to lay down their lives till this day to defend the rights of those that may oppose the current administration or support the current administration. You also have to keep in mind that we have freedom of speech. We have freedom to bear arms. We have the freedom to express ourselves. We may not agree with each other's way of doing so because we're taught tolerance. We're taught understanding. So take some time and think about, what does Independence Day mean to you? Sorry about that. What does independence mean to you? What does the 4th of July mean to you? I saw many people throughout the 4th of July on Friday protest against it. I have my personal opinion to it. But then again, you have a right to do so. Join the conversation. Let me know what you think. What do you think about this? Let me see if I have anybody on X that is on. That has an opinion about. I'm sorry about that. Our forefathers created this country to run from tyranny and oppression. I have my own belief of where we are currently. I have my own belief on what I think, where we're going, which I think is a very good place. But that's people's opinion, and that's what you could have when you have your independence. You could live in a country where you have a difference of opinion, but we also have to remember that we can discuss those things. We don't have to be violent unless necessary, which I don't approve of. I personally think we're heading towards prosperity. It's going to take time to get there, but if you're willing to work towards that goal, this is the country that provides you that opportunity. This is the country that provided my parents the opportunity to come to and raise their children to have a full education. Most of my siblings are college grads, and those that are not are at least high school graduates, with which, if you look at most countries, getting an education is a gem, is a privilege. Being able to say, I want to work here, or oh, I want to go work this, or I want to learn this, to you have opportunity to choose your field, to choose what you want to do. I'm a proud American. I served in the military, and that was my thank you to this country for giving my parents this opportunity to raise me, so I could, so not only me, but my siblings could grow, have families or not have families, have children or not have children. We were given that choice, we were given that opportunity, and people flock to this country to have that opportunity, to give their children a chance. But you have to do it the right way. My parents came to this country, I believe, in 1968, 69. I'm not sure. My father came here shortly after, unfortunately, the assassination of JFK. My dad he saw that assassination. He saw the assassination of Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and RFK. My father was a proud supporter of Carter. That was his choice. My parents came from a country that had a dictator, and ruled with an iron fist. This is what this country, when it was born, when it was created, when it was fought against. And I'd like to leave you with a thought process on this note. For those who protest, for those who feel they don't like this country, granted, when I served for you to have that choice, but think about it this way. There is no other country where you could openly protest the way you protest. And although it breaks my heart, there is no other country that you can go to that you could burn the country's flag. Do I agree with this? No. But remember, you have the right, and at the end of the day, you get to go home. I dare you to try that in any other country. So on this day, on this weekend, Independence Weekend, and you get ready to go to work, I ask you to remember, I ask you to keep in mind that what you do now, you can't do in any other country. What you're doing now is due to their sacrifice. And I ask that you remember their sacrifice. And with that, I'm going to leave this podcast a short one with this message from PDB, which was posted on X. And listen very carefully, because it sums up what Independence Day truly is.
It's one of the most attractive qualities in a human being. It's gratitude. It's one of the most unattractive qualities in a human being, the complete opposite. Entitled, ungrateful, blame, guilt, all of that, bitterness. When I'm thinking about today, 4th of July, it makes me think about like how lucky we are. Every day I try to be grateful. I ask myself, are you grateful for the life that you've been given? And I feel like I'm the luckiest man alive. There's a statistic that says only 70% of the families who get wealth from their parents, like they die, they pass down $12 million to their kids, only 70% know how to keep it. And let's just say they're able to keep it, that 30% to pass it on to the next, only 10% of the money stays there, 90% completely wiped out, and the fourth generation is 2 or 3%. What goes away? Why is that? They lack perspective. They forget how hard it was to gain the freedom and the success. They forget how difficult it was to get that generational wealth and the freedom and the opportunities and the resources and the contacts. And the moment you forget that and you think because you did something special, ooh, a nasty quality in a person's around the corner, and it's you. And I see some of that in America. I love when I see people that are proud patriots, proud to be an American. I proudly today, I'm wearing this in New York, walking around, people looking at me like, why is this guy? I'm proud. I'm proud to be an American. I'm proud that I served the U.S. Army. I love that there's that pride for Americans. The last few years, with the power of social media, I mean, so many people, oh my God, America this, America that. And these are Americans. There's 340 million lucky people around the world that own a Social Security, that live in America. You are part of the lucky few. There's about 7.7 billion people around the world that would love to have a Social Security in America. Some swim across a flipping water with their kids, many of them not making it, sacrificing just to come here for a Social Security. If you live in America, you have a job, you have the freedom to trash America, you have the freedom to trash the president, you have the freedom to say a lot of weird stuff. That's because 249 years ago, a group of men fought for this. And no matter how hard life is today, it ain't as hard as it was back then. These guys are the reasons why we are where we are today. And, those of you that are grateful, amen. Whoever you are, I respect you. I appreciate you. Those of you guys that are not, life is better when you have some gratitude. It doesn't mean we can't look at the flaws and the issues and the challenges and find ways to make something better. But in every statistical category, these founding fathers built something that became the greatest country in the world. Something very special. And just like the same way that generational wealth doesn't make it to too many generations, we got to make sure we stay with perspective, gratitude, all of that, or else we may be the beneficiaries of those that screwed it up because we lack gratitude. So today, I just want to tell you, if you're able to see this message, if you're able to read this message, if you're able to post a positive, negative comment about this message, agree or disagree with this message, you're part of the lucky few. And I'm grateful for that. So hope you're enjoying your day today, 4th of July. We're here with the family, enjoying ourselves, sitting down, laughing, jokes, stories, reminiscing. And, but we are part of the lucky few. Anyways, God bless everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.